Welcome to News Game Plus. I'm Jeremy Dermy again. I've done this a few times. I'm here with New Game Plus executive producer and relatively healthy person, Jason
Well, I
McCullagh,
mean, it's all relative, right?
compared to me.
But also at the moment, like all I can hear is
I remember. What's it's a Stranger Things in the
fa-
studio.
Father Times is coming. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so nah, all right. Yeah, no, went out with public, and people are yucky and full of germs, and that's why I don't like doing it.
On that note, happy 21st to Michelina.
Yeah, 21st and finished a Bachelor Biomedical Science degree.
Very good.
Passed it and got a published paper.
Nice.
So
There you go.
she's an author on a scientific paper.
Nipping at your wife's heels already.
Yeah, she's 19 behind my wife.
Yeah.
It's funny once. My wife's family is sitting around, all the guys, because they're I won't say what country they're from, but they were all sitting around.
Ukrainian, yeah.
Close, and then they were talking about who's the smartest family, and they didn't even entertain her. I'm like, it's Liz. She's got 20 scientific published papers, and they looked at me like, huh?
Yeah,
I think that's a lot.
I think your wife likes me because I entertain her theories on my health, which, don't get me wrong, I agree with her logic at the very least. Like, I'll be like, this is where I'm at with it. She go, I think it's more blah, 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 and she'll pivot into where she's with it. And so she's like, obviously, none of this is medical advice, but I don't think she's wrong because every time I've taken one of them to the doctor.
You don't say that when she talks to me.
Yeah, well,
I don't get that disclaimer.
You don't go to the fucking doctor.
But I get told what to do a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not married to her, mate. That's not my problem.
None of this is medical advice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, no, you should go to the doctor though, because you don't anyway.
I'm an old Gen X.
Any Gen X men in the audience, go to the doctors. Like, it's not going to bite you. Like, yeah, just go. Just because it's one of those things. Like, I understand the old impulse of, if I don't know if something's wrong, then I'm not going to die from it. It's not how it works. When you're lying on the ground having a heart attack, wondering if your kids are going to fight over your inheritance, then it's too late to reflect on it, right? Reflect on it now. Go to the docs, get your blood checked.
I do get my blood tested every so often.
Very good. Too. I mean, that's enough. Yeah,
because they do the test for blood sugar and fat.
Well, they can do bloods. They can do blood
yeah.
for prostate and colon as well now.
Yeah, so they don't have to use the finger anymore. The scientific advances means they don't stick their finger.
Well, you just miss both hands on your shoulder.
They use their penis.
Yeah, we both made the same joke. It's fine.
I know, we'll go there.
Yeah.
It used to be my dad's favorite joke.
Yeah, welcome to Boomers. Yeah, welcome to Boomer Hour.
Yes. Oh, Boomer humor. Boomer humor is I hate my wife.
Yeah. Wife bad, husband bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, did you want to do games? Because the last two podcasts, I called them Commies versus Microsoft.
Yeah. Are we doing a third version of Commies versus Microsoft? Because I know they've been up to some shenanigans.
We're going round 3.
Yeah, it's pretty. Look, let's talk about games quickly before we go. So, obviously, I want to do a Game of the Year one. We may have to literally do it in the week between Christmas and New Year's because I'm in South Africa as of Sunday.
I can't believe that soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's literally the 3rd of December. It's a nice sunny day on the Wednesday, 3rd of December. It was not a nice sunny day the last 2 days. It was a wonderful start to summer. It was pissing down rain. It was great.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I very much want to do Game of the Year, but Helldivers just got a new update, so your son will be happy because it's outside school time.
No, he's in the last 2 weeks of his course.
That sucks.
They're doing crunch because they're at the video game course.
So they're learning crunch.
The last 2 weeks, I think it is, and they are trying to get all this stuff done.
Yeah, nice.
Welcome
to learning the games industry. That's good.
And then the end of 2 weeks, they're going to lay him off.
Yeah. And then
full experience.
And then it'll be AIE, but the AI will stand for artificial intelligence. So yeah.
Yep, they're going to replace him with an algorithm.
Yeah.
Every algorithm.
So that's been good. I played Spider-Man. And do we want to talk about woke Sony nonsense? Because Spider-Man's writing dialogue, especially of Mary Jane, especially at the start of the game, is woke Sony nonsense. For what? Since 2014, there's been this thing, politics in games, right? And I've always maintained that politics, and that includes what they call woke. Because woke's basically anything that you don't like politically. Yeah.
That can be done, and it gets done in games like Deus Ex and that.
I think Deus Ex has been a good one,
but the writers now are not good enough.
Yes,
they just can't.
Yeah, beat me to it. That's what I'm going to say. You think of every character you've ever met who was gay or trans, or and Japan has a history of doing it both very well and very poorly. You know what I mean? Like, everyone going to get subjected to the same treatment as a general rule, for better or worse. But that's kind of how it should be, and I think I don't know. It's so obvious when it's shoehorned, and I can't imagine people in those communities look at it and go, "Yes, this is an empowering piece of writing." This is like Disney checkboxing stuff. And just sit there, it's like, okay, MJ's an independent woman who don't need no man, and it's just some of the dialogue. She was like, she's walking around and she just turns around and she goes, "Oh, did you notice anything weird about? I'm here to do the expose on this, exciting art exhibit." And then she turns around and she goes to the random lady who may or may not be involved in crimes. "Oh, did you notice anything weird about the transactions?" As if she's going to reveal that information to you. Is this your level of investigative journalism? Like, shut up. Like, it was so poorly written. It's gotten better. The story beats are good. All that kind of stuff. The actual narrative itself is fine. But I just think these people who've never spoken to someone are writing dialogue for people like they're real people, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, and it makes me mad.
You know, it shoots me there because I love the 3-body problem.
Yeah.
I love the 10-cent version. Everybody should watch the 10-cent version. It's in Chinese, but goddamn, it's good.
Trey was talking up those books the other day, funnily enough. So
it's an incredible.
You're in
story.
good company, yeah.
Incredible sci-fi. Out of China too, which is interesting. Shows how far they've come.
Yeah.
But the Netflix one, it did the trope where you got the science woman, and she has to establish she's really. I'm a doctor of complicated sciencingology at the University of nobody else can get in.
They write women now like 80s men. Do you know what I mean? Like these narcissistic boss bitch kind of stuff, and it's like it rings saccharine. I didn't like them when they were men. I'm not going to like them when they're women. Like if you're doing this unlikable characters, then the problem is you're accused of using the trope to write an unlikable character.
That's what
they are unlikable.
Anita Sarkeesian said one of her worst things she said you can do is make Ms. Man.
Yes,
and take a man, and that's what they're doing now.
And like this is the thing. I mean, this goes back to the Germergerts, if we're going to go that far back.
I think we can say it now.
The Gamergate,
and we should be able to. By the way, we should be able to talk honestly about it these days.
The Gamergate has blooded Anita Sarkeesian. She would have just been another.
Well, she's gone now. She ran off to politics.
Yeah. So she's But
in
like
fact, they're all gone. And Brianna Wu's shilling for Israel.
I mean, $5,000 a tweet, brother.
Money. I'm tempted to do it. What does Netanyahu want me to say? Because $7,000
at the moment he wants a pardon, doesn't he?
No, I'm all in. No, Bibi. Is that what you say? That's a dumb nickname. That's about as ScoMo. But
just like Bibi.
Yeah, no, chuck some money in my account and I'll tweet whatever you want.
I mean,
and then we can throw to a Raid Shadow Legends ad. Didn't they offer us money for that?
We've had a few of those actually. Yeah, I should. Yeah, full disclosure. I mean, we've never had one on the website. We still get offers. That's how I know the website must get some traffic, because we still get offers to buy out portions of our site for a couple $100.
It's normally gambling though. That's the secret. They don't talk about it. It's normally gambling.
We'd like to sponsored content for your thing,
or the IDF.
Yeah,
but no, gambling's the gambling's on the deep. But anyway.
But I think that's the thing. She would have just been another YouTube internet critic with the occasional good. I mean, like a lot of it's like even Clementine Ford. I don't think Clementine Ford necessarily misidentifies the problem. I just think the way she goes about it in the solution, I'm just like, just makes me roll my eyes because it's so Gen X.
They all do.
And I'm just like, you get the problem right. I just don't think your solution's particularly helpful. But
we've discussed this a lot with respect to young men.
Yeah.
And so they've got their Sneeko, their Andrew Tate, their Peterson and that. And you know what? Even Tate, some of what he says is true.
Yeah. Well, no, it's all grounded in a reality. I mean, Peterson, clean your room. Yeah, because having a organized space in which you live.
I don't think either of us have succeeded with that one.
Sure. Especially at the moment, right? But you know, like it helps organize your brain. You function better. Go out and touch grass. Yeah, it's glib advice, but it helps. We are monkeys that were meant to be in trees. Like being outside helps us. You don't have to interact with anyone, but go outside, walk in the park, or like it will help you. Anyway,
but like any good salesman, they know what the problem is.
Yes,
because that's the hook. So Tate, Peterson, and they're different levels, by the way. But and Anita in her stuff, they knew what the problem was.
Yeah.
But their solution, that's where they become grifters.
Yeah,
and that's where that's the bit that everybody needs to sort of like understand.
Yeah,
they're tremendously good salesmen.
Yeah.
And so you might hear Andrew Tate say something. Go, that's the problem young men experience. Is the solution to kidnap a bunch of women
and hold them in Romania? Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
So there's probably other solutions, and that's where proper discussion has to come in. That's not scared of being in that area.
I've said for a long time that the left has seeded masculinity, and we talk about toxic masculinity, but then we call anti-masculinity toxic. And I think the conversation's starting to turn around a bit now, and there are good operators in that space. Like what's his name, Baldy Ralph from. I mean, his wife cheated on him and all this, and instead of going down that really nasty, bitter, all women are bitches, blah blah blah, blah, his is more a case of, if you see these behaviors, this is how you address it. But sometimes it's too far gone. Sometimes you have to decide what your things are, and it's always well informed, and it comes from a genuine. You can tell he's genuine about it. But then you see the grifters come on, and you're just like, oh my god, there's money to be made here. There's money to being controversial. Make a good point, and then follow it up with, and that's why lobsters have hierarchies. It's like it doesn't make any sense.
Or the dog study about alpha males that doesn't actually apply to real life, and even the guy that did it doesn't. But then you're not an alpha male nowadays. You call yourself a sigma male if you know you're not alpha, but you think you could win a fight if you had to.
I think if anyone calls themselves alpha, if you have to call yourself that, you aren't.
No, they call themselves sigma. Alpha's a concept though. If you see like an AFL player walk through Melbourne, that's alpha male.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You can tell they're 2 meters tall and everyone loves them.
I'm going to be somewhat hypocritical here. People know I'm the boss of New Game Plus. Do you know what I mean? And my guys there's enough fealty and enough understanding that the advantage of that is I will suffer things like I will deal with the bullshit for them, because then they don't have to. Then they can just do the fun stuff, and it's like so. There's elements of, people will follow someone who is willing to be loyal to them and help that loyalty. But this idea of, you have to do these particular traits to be alpha. The most alpha thing, quote unquote, you can do is not give a fuck like what anyone thinks of your masculinity, as Dermy dies in the background. Like, I love Kirby stuff, and I dare someone to come up and like have a crack about it. It's just if you're so worried about what you project out to people, you're not an alpha. Like, you're just overthinking it. You're just an anxious and trying to overcompensate, and it's just lame.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, moral stories. I think
we're doing games.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So like I say, so I think the biggest problem is we still kind of don't know how to write women, and I think we are doing the problem we do with kids. Like, we're talking down to them, like we're talking down to women like they're idiots, and it's like don't talk down to them. Just make someone that they can relate to. You know what I mean? Like it's you don't have to say the buzzwords. You don't have to, and it's like I just roll my eyes at some of the dialogue, and I understand it's because I'm a bit older, right? I'm 40 now, so I'm on the other end of this conversation. But it's like, but this performative stuff does you no value. I mean, you can, you talk about Hades, and Hades has basically everyone's bisexual because they're all gods. I mean, there's a Greek joke there, but I'm going to leave it alone. But like they're all gods. They're all like acknowledging their omnipotence and all that kind of stuff. And I think it does those themes very well: death and life, and what it means to be immortal versus. And like but it's just good writing. Like it's just good writing.
It can be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's not a lot of people, and it's probably because a lot of people get into the writing area of games who are like got an uncle who runs a studio.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're just not good because politics can be done, and it should be done.
Yes.
In games. I believe you should.
Well, any storytelling medium is going to have to eventually touch on allegory. I mean, we have a go at Far Cry 5 for not being critical enough. Like, it's like, you're almost there. What's the next step?
Yeah, but then they toned it down for sales.
Correct. Like, but then with Cuba, they'll go full in on Cuba. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
They asked Michael Jordan once famously. They said, "How come you don't support or don't back Democrat candidates in these things?" And Michael Jordan said, "Because Republicans buy sneakers as well."
Yeah.
And I think that's an important concept.
I mean, look, I think there's a certain cowardice to that, but when you've got that much money, who cares anyway, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. But
don't be mean to MJ's my man. MJ,
he's the cheapest guy in thing. Listen to Charles Barkley. I love Charles Barkley, to be fair. I do love Charles. Jordan's a goat. I mean, it's funny. I always forget you're an old school basketball kid. Like,
90s basketball was best basketball.
Yeah, I mean, look,
now they don't even bounce. They just grab the ball and run
6 kilometers. It's so funny to watch. Like,
what the fuck's going on with the rules now?
As
someone touched me, it's like soccer. Fall over. Like,
I mean, we talk about LeBron, right? Like, and I mean,
he's a shocker.
It's so funny. People are comparing LeBron to Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall literally had two. I don't know if you saw the
comparing to a soccer player, comparing to like Ronaldo.
Yeah, exactly. Two fingers like knuckle deep in his eyes, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's a LeBron of UFC." I'm like, No, if it was the Braun of UFC, he would have sneezed on him. He would have fell over.
No,
And,
if he's
and
the
like,
brunt of it, he'd have his son in there fighting as well.
yeah,
He's not very good at it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you imagine that. Imagine following in those footsteps, right? Of like, oh yeah, I'm LeBron's kid. Oh, you any good at basketball?
Nah, but my dad got me a spot on the team.
Correct. You've got to think of it from the other side too. Like, it's like, oh, maybe you should have taught him a different skill because, like, it's not generational. Sometimes.
Yeah, that's where you just say, hey, you know what, son, you can try, and
Yeah.
unless you're Gary Ablett Jr. and you just play a different style, because he didn't play like his dad.
No, his old man was the wizard, and he was the workhorse.
Unless you do something different, then you just say, look, how about you just become an electrician or something?
Yeah. I'll pay for your trade school.
Wait out of Jan. And
yeah. See if
the pressure's going to be too.
See if it's an atavistic trait, right? Like, yeah. But no, because it is obviously like, you do have these players that are generational, like Joe Watson and stuff like that. But I mean, we don't talk about Essendon because fuck Essendon. And that's going to get us death threats. You want to get death threats on the internet?
Oh, do we get $7,000 if we say something nice about Essendon as
well? do they have the money for it? I'm not sure they do.
Send me down some syringes, guys. Tweet something nice.
Yeah. Let's go find some kids to stick. Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on. The Roblox story I've got.
Roblox is later.
Where'd we go in here?
Yeah.
I actually do have a Roblox story.
I'm sure you do.
Do I do a game thing?
Speaking of Epstein's Island, yeah. Anyway,
Roblox Island.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so you you didn't like the writing in Spider-Man?
No. I think the story beats are fine. But I just come off playing Hades, right? And Hades writing is so phenomenal. All the character interactions are fun. The way they phrase it, everyone has a character through their voice. You know what I mean? And by the end of Spider-Man, it was better. And obviously she comes to terms with stuff, but I'm just like, it's so clunky. The exposition is so clunky sometimes. I'm just like, ugh. Like, Insomniac are usually pretty good. I expected a little bit better, but then I also remember you got to deal with all the stakeholders of Disney and Marvel.
It would go through a whole heap of management and a whole heap of meetings.
I mean, you really want to break the anti-woke thing. The one Asian character turns out to be the bad guys. Wink, wink, nudge.
Yeah, well, that's what they have to do because that's what America is setting the world up for.
Speaking Chinese, so they're all the Chinese people.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's why Assassin's Creed had a black guy because they couldn't put an Asian guy in because the Americans don't know the difference between Japan and China. So if they were playing as an Asian guy, they might like human.
I did say to someone recently,
Asian girls are different. They're fetty.
Yeah.
So you can play as an Asian girl or a black guy.
Yeah. Well, it was so funny. I was at what airport was I at? I was at one of the airports recently, and it was me, a South African, a Canadian, and an American. And the American just turns around because we're all like, Commonwealth buddies, and like, oh, I'm like, and then we're like, hang on, was South Africa in the Commonwealth? I'm like, I can't even remember. And they're like, and so we're just having these kind of like,
pretty sure they were
colonial banter conversations, right? And then, I think that was what the Boer War was, wasn't it? And then
they played cricket. Everyone,
that's true.
Cricket.
That's a very good. That's a very good point.
But they got kicked out for a little while for being
certain reasons,
being bad to their indigenous population.
Yeah.
Setting a precedent that we haven't followed.
Yeah. And then the American goes, oh, what's you two like? Me and the South Africans, you two guys are from Australia, and we just looked at each other. And the Canadian just pisses himself laughing.
Yeah, every time.
Like, you want to tell him? It's like, yeah.
They do mix up in Hollywood South African and Australian accents a lot.
Though, to be fair, I will say, most South Africans will turn around to me and say, oh, you're from the UK. I'm like, from the UK? What are you talking about? Like, I sound about as shrine as
that's not very nice.
And as as an Irish Australian,
jeez, I'd be slapping a little bit of plastic under the car.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go start your car.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesus
Christ. Have a nice drive, boyo. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can swing past the UK Parliament House, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I hear Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's looking for a lift. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to get us in trouble. So anyway, woke writing. I was going to say earlier the thing about the scientists, right? They always in Three Body Problem. They're always going on about the scientist chicks that if there's a science chick in an American show, they're always trying to prove their credentials up front, right? Now, as a man who's married to a scientist,
yeah.
The first thing my wife said to me when I met her wasn't, "I'm a special scientist and I'm very clever."
Yeah.
It was, "I just threw up." And so it's like in real life, science women don't talk like the ones in shows. It's funny because they keep going on about it. I used to have this thing happen around the 2014 to 2016 time, and they'd be telling me all these things, and I go, dude, if I want to know what a scientist thinks, I can just ask her.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't. You've got it wrong, and I think this happens with this dialogue when they're writing. they don't know who they're writing, so
Yeah.
they haven't spent time to study them or talk to them.
Yeah, I
So,
yeah, I think it is that thing sometimes, and like I said, I genuinely think there is more good than bad out there, but just when it's bad, it's more noticeable, and it's always obviously any of these things that have to go through committee always end up worse because there's no artistic vision behind. Like you can say what about Kojima, right? Like I hate his stuff. I think he's verbose. I think he's whatever. But it's always usually his vision, right? Like you always look at it and go, "Well, this is a Kojima game." Like
I had to be nude because I need sunlight.
yeah,
I'm a plant.
yeah. Uh, hey man, like he also made a game. You want to talk about sunlight? He made Boktai. Is it Boktai? Yeah, it's Boktai. Where you have to go into the sunlight because it has a little like a calculator solar panel, and so his weapons worked better if you were out in the sun. Like they got a power up based on how much power it was picking up from the
Isn't
cartridge.
that just the story of Superman?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like yeah, the yellow sun.
Kal-El or whatever.
Yeah, Kal-El. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that sounds. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, we've been 20 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to get into my Microsoft.
Here it goes. Here it comes. You know, it's Microsoft related, so I'm going to do it. So I between the Switch, which I've been playing a lot, and obviously the Switch 2 is apparently it's more powerful than the Steam Deck. I'm happy to be corrected if I'm wrong. Between the Steam Deck, between the Switch, the Steam Deck, my PS5 for Helldivers. I have used my Xbox to, guess what, watch TV. And the Black Friday sales were on. And usually I will grab a couple of games on the Black Friday sales. I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Like
sports.
Yeah,
TV,
21 bucks, sure, $5, sure, like whatever. And I'll just pay it. I am disincentivized to spend money on Microsoft products. I do not do it anymore. And it is noticeable in my spending patterns. And I hope they notice it because I'm like, I've lost any faith in the platform continuing to be what it is in 5 years' time. So I'm trying to limit how many games I have on their platform. And my hope is that Gaben stays alive for the next 5-10 years, so I don't have to deal with Microsoft buying them out.
No, he'll be dodging assassination attempts.
Absolutely. After the Gabe Cube and a few other things, I worry for him. LA, that's why he's on the yacht. He's on the yacht. It's got SAM sites on the yacht. Like
he's a Fidel Castro gaming. They're getting him exploding cigars and shit.
Yeah.
So another present from Microsoft. Boom.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So anyway, let's go Microsoft because yes, they're apparently the Halo. A lot of people that have seen the Halo are really worried. But anyway, so
has Halo had a good game in the last? I mean, just keep going, right? I liked 4, but I've hated every one of them since.
Now, I would say Don Mantrick was a visionary in many ways. He was but he was like 10 years ahead of time, right? Because now everybody's on their Xbox.
Well, someone needed to break the back of it, right? And so he was willing to tank the Microsoft brand to break the back. He
was willing to tank the Microsoft brand and the Halo brand because I have a ripper for you. So
okay,
but but look, honestly, he was ahead of his time. But here's a story that came out a little while ago. And it was, I'm gonna have to read this. It's gonna take.
I think I know what the story is, so it's fine.
It's by someone called Sandy Peterson. I don't know if it's true or not, but they wrote this on Twitter a while ago. In 2008, I'm going to read this verbatim. In 2008, Ensemble Studios started planning a gigantic MMO set in the Halo universe. We codenamed it Titan.
Yeah,
it was to take place tens of thousands of years ago, before the Halos were set off and destroyed all sentient life in the galaxy. I was in charge, this is the person writing, I was in charge of the universe building, planet histories, alien species, etc. You could play either as Forerunners or their enemies, the Covenant. The Flood, of course, was in the game, but not playable.
Yeah, so PvP. Yeah. So
we had quest lines all worked out. Remember, this is 2008. We had quest lines all worked out. Homeworlds for all of the species, etc. This is a massive MMO. The lowest estimate we and Microsoft had for the game's total income was $1.1 billion. 2008 money. So that's worth like about $1 trillion. It's worth some million.
It's Elon. We're suddenly talking Elon money.
Yeah. So it was all brought to naught when Don Matrick realized that his stock bonus was based on the income MS had from games in 3 years.
Yeah, and that came out in 5 years.
Yep. Now I'll get to part 2 of this.
So yeah, so this is what happens when Dermy buys a phone. That you talk about being like style over substance.
Yeah, you see, we estimated 3.5 years to finish Titan.
Yeah,
that's a similar name to another game that got ditched by someone else. If we did it right, and that's beyond Matrix's drop dead date. So by firing all of Ensemble, he didn't have to pay for our expensive studio for 3 years, and he didn't care about Titan.
Yeah.
All he lost was a game studio who never sold less than 3 million copies of everything we made. I don't believe he did justice to Microsoft stockholders, but hey, Don started as an EA. Oh shit, I lost it.
Yeah.
Started as an
Grandpa can't work
EA hatchet man. So what would you expect? Okay,
So and keep in mind, Matrick, Riccatello. I mean, look at what happened with Riccatello, and who uses Unity anymore? Do you know what I mean? Like that was Riccatello.
They killed that. So basically, the upshot of that is, in 2008, they had an MMO in the Halo universe, tens of thousands of years before the game.
It was like when Halo's cultural influence was peaking as well.
2008 absolute peak, $1.1 billion 2008 money estimated, but it wouldn't be ready for 3.5 years, and Matrick, all his bonuses that were worked out over the next 3 years. And because it was a half a year later, and probably one, it might have slipped a bit, Matrick cancelled it.
Yeah. So
we look at Microsoft now, and that's the early days of the Microsoft corporate culture becoming the absolute dog's breakfast that it is now.
Well, keep in mind, Such has been there 20 years now, just saying.
He built up Azure.
Yeah, and that's why he's all in on Azure, because it has to work.
Yeah, and data centers, because that's what he knows, right? Yeah. If you had to put, who's the guy that's being held hostage at the moment?
Bulmer?
No, the game guy. He used to do E3s and stuff, and then he took Ozempic and they locked him up. What was he doing?
Oh, Phil Spencer.
Yeah, okay. If he took over, they'd probably be better off in the Xbox area.
This is a point of conjecture I've had with a few other people in the show, and I do like Phil. Having met him, he's a nice bloke, all that kind of.
I've met Randy Pitchford. He was a wonderful guy.
And
didn't slip me any USB drives.
My housemate, we have always joked about how I won't play a Randy Pitchford game that's not a Duke Nukem game, right? Going forward, I'll never play another Borderlands game. I hate Borderlands. But I like Randy Pitchford.
He's really nice.
I find him fun, and I've never met him. I've met him a couple of times, and I've never had a bad conversation with him. Like, I legitimately, he needs to shut his mouth sometimes, and he needs to probably, watch who's litigating him. And he's definitely, he allegedly stole that money for Colonial Marines. But
a lot of allegedly. After the words Randy and Pitchford, the word allegedly comes.
I know, but as a human being, I've never
he's really nice.
Never had a bad interaction with him, and it kills me because I hate his product.
I said I really liked Duke Nukem Forever, and I did. I really liked it. And he goes, I think you're the only one, and it's really nice. But anyway, what I'm getting at is it's hard to judge by somebody being nice when you meet them, because.
No, for sure.
If you spend time with Randy, you'd probably see a different person.
For sure, if you work for him, right? And so with Phil, I think the albatross around his neck was the Activision sale. I think he thought the Activision sale would go through. The UK kind of screwed him on that, which was surprising. Of all the markets to knock, Europe agreed to it. It was not. It was, and then they found out the one of the lawyers that was litigating it had previously worked with Sony and all this stuff. It was all scuttlebutt around it, and I'm just like. It's like, I think that was the albatross around his neck, and now Sucher wants his money back. He spent $70 billion on it. He wants his money back, and
they're obsessed with AI. There's a couple of AI stories coming, but
Well, and you go back to the Matrix story, and so people would think that is a unique situation. 3 years time, blah, blah. No, that is very common, and especially after buyouts, especially after mergers and buyouts, what will happen is we're going to replace the C-suite in X amount of time. We're going to bring in a CEO, so it's always that same group of Harvard chuds who are there specifically because they're willing to tank the nastiness for the shareholders. These people know how to smile well enough for the cameras and play the game well enough to take their $100 million and go off into the sunset.
All about that bonus,
right? I mean, I know a company at the moment, and basically they're not in the good spot that they were. but their CEO in 12 months' time, if he waits it out another X, I think he walks away with $30 million or $20 million or something like that. And I'm like, you can't tell me that his value was $20 million when the sales of the company are tanking.
That's not my company, unfortunately.
I mean,
I wish I could do that.
And here of us down here going, oh wow, 7 figures sales. Well, that's crazy.
$7,000 for a tweet. I'll do that. $20 for $20.
You're gonna have to stop. Like you're gonna have to stop. They'll actually start sending you messages.
I do actually. I've locked my Twitter down. I used to get anytime I said something about 2 countries, that one, and Saudi Arabia,
and Essendon.
Now, normally with those countries, I used to get a whole heap of.
You want to have a conversation?
Very attractive women. DM me going, I just want to have a chat and explain to you.
Have a conversation. Really like
yeah. That used to happen a lot.
Hasbara babes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Look,
I'm so thirsty.
Look, it's tough, right? Because obviously it's easy to pile on. I mean, you've also got I don't know if it's on your list, but Rockstar. Like you've got Dan Houser's.
I did. I got to think of Dan Houser's.
Dan Houser's NDA must have run out. Is all I'll say.
Oh no, I've got him making a comment about AI.
Well, I'll wait for you. We'll go to that because he's made a few comments. So.
I had Arrowhead next.
Okay, well, so Microsoft, yeah, I've noticed my buying behavior has changed, and not that I like Sony. We all know that I don't. When I say that, I mean they're all companies dealing with these people on an individual level. It's always fine, but you can always see when it's a corporate level decision and it's changing the way they do stuff. And you just sit there and embrace. And you go, look, I'm telling you, it's going to end like this. And even the people you talk, it's like when you deal with PR people and they know they got a stinker, right? They know they got a stinker, but they can't say it. They obviously can't say to your face, yeah, this game sucks. But they know they got a stinker, so they got to find ways to try and mitigate or at least get the early press out that's polite. And that's why we very rarely got invited to press tours because we were bad at that.
Isn't the number one sign of that if there's a review embargo that ends after the game releases?
So that's two-pronged. So yes, there is an element to that, like for sure. Like to be fair to Sony, they're usually pretty good. Like certain places will get it a week out. Because I think Sony internally, they know they can rely on a good 5-10 million on any of their big name titles.
The Sony Defense Force,
the Yotes,
they don't have to pay $7,000. The Sony Defense Force.
You're gonna have to stop bringing it up. We're gonna get put on watch lists. Gillian Siegel's already sending the hit squads. So basically, like there is that, but also sometimes the game is good enough that they don't need your reviews. GTA does not need your reviews. There won't even be review copies. They don't give a fuck. They'll send it to influencers, right? Like it's all going towards influencers now because influencers, if reviewers ever had morals, they're usually pushed out of the industry. The what Stephanie Sterling's of the world, blah blah.
Feedback did a video the other day.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't gonna last, but
she's in good form. I'm a big fan of Stephanie Sterling.
Yeah, look, my
good form though. She just went hard.
My thing with Sterling is that even when I disagree, and I do sometimes, like not fundamentally, but I disagree with the framing or the whatever. I believe the passion. I don't believe it's cynical. And that is what reviews used to be. Like reviews used to be a trust exercise between you and your audience. You can't get that trust back. Once you've sold it, you can't get it back, right? One of the rules on New Game Plus is if we work with a client through our other businesses, if we're doing work for them, events, blah, 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 we won't review their game. It's as simple as that. We just won't review it.
You won't let me review Sonic games.
We'll live stream it, yeah, because I don't get them back. And they're all like opening the case is gross. It's, yeah.
It's like it's been in the upside down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say, you can get your prostate checked another way, right? Like, yeah. Anyway,
Sonic set them clear.
Yeah. But so that's the rule. Is if we've gotten copies or we're working with the clients, or if we do review it, it will be someone who's not related to it. It'll be someone else in the team who's not even remotely related to it because I believe that's a thing. And like,
we don't swing over to press start and.
Or the Sydney journos. Hey, they're the virtuous ones. Just check Twitter.
I know,
right?
Triggered you now.
Man,
better move on.
No. But basically, so I was going to say, like, people like I think Steve Wright does it well. There's a few people who do it really well, where they manage to call out those biases. And you can hate his review, you can think that he's wrong. That's fine. That's part of the conversation. But like, at least if it's an honest, opinion on something, you have that as something. Influencers, it's hard to be on it. Like, authentic influencers tough. And I'm lucky in that most of the brands that I've ever had to spruik or sell, I believe in. You know what I mean? Like there's certain ones where it's like I will approach them and say, "Hey, let's do something together. Let's collaborate."
Yeah, you were trying for ages to get Boss Coffee to.
I mean, and they
they gave you a big box, didn't they?
No, I bought a big box.
Oh, okay.
But I still think they're seeding that space. Here's free advice for you. If you want to take on the Red Bulls and that of this world, like, yeah, it's great that the normies and the tradies will drink your stuff, but I'm telling you, the gamers will come on board. There's enough weebs in the crowd that you can get them. I guess the problem is there's a grey imports now, but it's just and
gamers.
You know, here's my other one. We've reached out to Unilever. I'm sure I can say this because it's not in a confidentiality agreement multiple times. Imagine if you were selling deodorant to gamers. I'm telling you, like it's a meme, but people would buy your stuff because brand recognition.
Wait. And you're gonna have to clarify.
Unilever does Lynx body spray.
No. What's that other word?
Gamers.
What's that deodorant do?
Oh, all right. I got it.
Bam.
Took me a second.
Yeah, good BAM sponsor.
Why do you think I approached them, right? And so we approached them like, multiple times. So if there's anyone who does it, maybe we'll reach out to some of these small ones. Like there's some new ones out there that are pretty good. Anyway, moral of the story is I think, if
I forgot what we're talking
brand
about.
recognition, like if you're going to do the brand deals, you have to do the brand deals because you believe in it. Rockstar won't need to worry about embargoes because they'll reach out to influencers who are sympathetic to getting people onto their role-playing servers, all that kind of stuff. They don't care. They don't need reviews anymore. So the embargo used to be the sign of we don't want anyone talking about this game. It's not the case. It's not necessarily the silver bullet anymore because there's some games that don't need your review. They don't care. They know they're going to sell their 5 million. They don't care.
I'll sell a load of GTA 6 and I still reckon it'll be a disaster. Anyway.
I kind of agree. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Hey, all right, cool. I can't remember what I was talking about, but let's move.
Arrowhead. You said Arrowhead.
Okay, Arrowhead. Because we have to mention Helldivers. So this is cool because you notice game installs are so big now.
Yeah.
And one of the theories I saw once was that they don't want to make them small because they want to discourage pirating by making them so many.
And they also want to discourage you uninstalling it and putting another game on.
Also I think there's a bit of laziness, and it's not so much the developers being lazy. I think what happens, I've been in meetings where, as like a project manager and as a team leader for software development projects, this is years and years ago, where literally they've said, we need to deliver this like 4 weeks early. What can we squash? And we go, well, we can't really, because at the end we've got like 2-week testing period, and then a week of bug fixes from the bugs.
And then one last year.
Yeah, and they go, okay, well, how about we don't do the bug fixing after the testing? and your brain starts to melt, right? And you go, no. You got to do that. And then you're talking to managers who just don't understand. They go, well, and I've actually, like, literally, I've had them say to me, well, don't have any bugs.
A noticeable phenomena with a lot of these Sony open world games, Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, all of them. The later the game goes, the more bugs I encounter, right? Because
they haven't got that far tested.
Correct. You have to test that far into the game, right? Yeah. And so the more I play through these kind of games, the more I'm noticing, I'm like, yeah.
Testing something they're going to AI the hell out of, so it's not going to get better. Hey, anyway, so the Arrowhead, what I was going to use, video games have got large installs. What Arrowhead did to really buck the trend here is they reduced the install size on Steam. Man, I'm talking like it's Dr. Zeus. From 154 gigabytes to 23 gigabytes. They said deduplicating data, which is kind of like how compression works.
So let me. Okay, I can speak to this one because it's Helldivers related. The install on PlayStation is about 35 gig, and it has been roughly that since launch, right? Because you're making the system, you're making one game file for everything, right? They were duplicating assets to preemptively optimize. And someone said that. They're like, you can't preemptively optimize. And what they were doing was for hard drive users, HDD users, they were preemptively duplicating assets so it was easy to find. Does that make sense?
Is this why they had problems with hard drives being destroyed?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
I would say.
My son was terrified of playing the game for a while because he didn't want his drive.
But you got to remember, most PC stories like that, there's obviously ones that are real, Microsoft, but there's a lot of them that are one guy running on a fucking wooden computer, and he's like, oh, my hard drive failed, and it's like some old 5400 platter that he had from 2006, right? It's like, oh, my hard drive got killed by it. It's like, shut up, idiot. And so But what they've done is they realized that they preemptively optimized, but then they found that the delay times for people loading off hard drives was in the seconds more when they were loading in, and it didn't have any meaningful performance impact when they ran this optimized version of the game's file, and it came down 100 gig was how. So just think of all the texture assets that they had and the obviously the compression and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they must have been anyway. It's noticeable, and like
an 85% decrease on the PC.
Is crazy.
That's a lot. Yeah. Everyone else is going the other way. Well done, Arrowhead.
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
Well, a lot of games since 2020 have insisted that you have an SSD for the game for the install.
Yeah, like a lot of the Xbox kind of does.
Yes, well, and that's the thing because the Xbox and the PlayStation both run technically off their own version of SSDs.
Remember that was PlayStation 5's whole big thing. That, we've got a really fast hard drive. Well done.
Yeah, good job. And funnily enough, they're the cheaper ones to replace. Though you can replace the memory in a PlayStation.
Remember when they used to have like all the fuss was about their custom chips, like the Emotion engine, the cell processor, and then they got to PlayStation 5 went, it's the faster drive.
I kind of miss those bespoke days. I know it wasn't good for the consumer in the grand scheme of things. If you want to play that game, the more what's what I'm thinking of standardization of hardware, the better for everyone, right?
Like you know who's doing that now? Apple and that.
Yes.
They're gone off. Even Google makes their own CPUs.
Apple's M6 is going to be made by Intel again. I'm like, I literally got apparently that's the rumor going around. They're going to go the M6, M7 are going to be made by Intel again. I'm like,
the big problem with all the data centers they're building now. In 2 years' time, every chip in there is going to be obsolete.
Yes,
and you can't tell me that China, with a billion people and more PhD students in STEM than the entire world combined, isn't going to come out with some Nokia absolute soft quantum chip at some point.
They're going to do quantum first, I reckon.
Well, quantum's main thing is breaking encryption, and I wouldn't die shock if they've already done it. They're just going through all the old data to see what they can find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're investing all this money in stuff that's going to be obsolete.
Yeah,
which is going to be wild. And then they're going to say, we need money. So well done, anyway. Well done, Arrowhead, for dropping down the size of the install. Now let's go. I'm going to jump down to Roblox Island.
Okay. Roblox Island.
Roblox Island. So, okay. So you know how they wanted that dating.
Oh God!
Did we talk about dating one else?
Oh my! I'm just imagining the South Park North American Man Boy Love Association episode.
Yep. The Nambler. Yeah. The guy that owns Roblox now says he wants to add gambling mechanics.
Oh my! Of course he does,
because they're like 9-year-old kids.
Yeah,
and, they
get them early,
and it gets worse for Roblox. And honestly, as a parent, if my kids were still young, I'd be saying don't play. They're adding age verification because the Australian government's got all antsy about this stuff. It's not going to work. It's going to be like an old Looney Tunes. I'm sure teens around.
I'm sure it's you. Yeah. It's literally the South Park episode. It's like a Scooby Doo episode.
They're all going to be running
PHP. I can't remember if it was you or someone else I was talking to. The only way to actually police these algorithms, if you're an under 16 member, the algorithm has to be shown, and they don't want that because that's where they make their money.
Yeah, right? They have to. Yeah, and that should have been the
that should have been the law.
Focus. So it has to be only friends. If you're under a certain age, you only get friends. You only see what they post in time order, but like it used to be. Anyway, so Roblox is adding an age check, and of course they're doing it. Remember, Roblox being pedo infested.
Allegedly.
You're going to have to turn your camera on your device and video your face. And then the algorithm's going to say, yeah, you look young.
I'm just hearing that. Oh, you look young.
Well, that's pretty much it. Roblox is about to be the largest pedo child database on the planet.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. That's how they've said they're going to, because you can't use ID to verify underage.
I'm lucky. I'm old enough that my accounts are older.
You're not going to pass for a 16. Sorry,
Jesus, don't do that to me.
You have to shave at least.
Anyway, I could grow this at 16.
Unless you're one of those like I could grow this. You always had an Italian or Greek kid at school.
I was 14
and full beard.
Someone made that joke. They were like, I'm dark Irish. So, how early could you grow your beard? I'm like, 16.
Big argument about that because my dad's dark Irish. Yeah. Which kind of means I am a little bit.
It means you're swarthy.
You go online and Americans are like, oh, you can't say that. And you go, no, we're not talking what you think.
Yeah.
Like there's literally dozens of people in the world that don't live in America.
There's a couple of dozen. Yeah.
Anyway, so
But yeah, no. So a lot of the sites now, like my accounts are old enough that they're older than the level, the year that you've got to verify. If that makes sense. Like most of my accounts are 14, 15 anyway, right? So by virtue of XYZ. I mean, I know people have had their PayPal accounts closed because technically they did the math and it turned out their first account was their first transaction was when they were 17 and 11 months. So they've had their accounts closed because then technically every transaction was legal because they signed a contract under.
That's dumb.
Yeah,
Idiot.
but so
close it. You just question that transaction.
But now it's no. PayPal have closed it because
Yeah, but PayPal's a mafia.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
that's Peter Thiel in that.
Yeah. That's well, I mean, yeah, it's yeah. And so, but every time like Patreon and all that, they want you to verify through a third party, and I'm like, bro, I don't even give the government. I don't like have the government having my photo ID.
I have to tell you who the third party is and where they're based.
Palantir, no doubt. But like, Langley, Virginia is getting a lot of fucking data. Yeah,
or somewhere else. But anyway, that's not conspiracy theory. I'll talk to you after the who it is and where they're based.
All right.
Send me money.
Yeah, send $1 to Happy Guy. Yeah. So yeah, no, I get and don't get me wrong, this is the funny part. You talk to Reddit and you talk to all these communities and you're like, oh my god, it's not going to work. No, it's not going to work. You're correct on that. But if you think that no one cares about it, I promise you, like every poll you do, it'll be a vast majority. I'm talking like 65, 70% of parents are worried about.
Yeah, because parents aren't on the internet.
Correct. And they don't understand it in the same way. Like but me and you are probably uniquely connected for our age demographics.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely. And most parents say, if they're going to ban 16s off social media, they also need to ban adults off Sky News. I mean, just for everybody's safety, please.
Well, I think,
and ban Kyle and Jackie O.
Well, I mean, they don't need to be banned. Their ratings are tanking so hard they won't need to be banned soon.
But they still play because apparently Murdoch thinks Kyle's piss funny. But I'm not surprised at all.
I believe
Murdoch loves him. He's hilarious.
He's the least like. You can
talk toxic message.
You can always make an edgy joke, right? But he's just aren't funny. You know what I mean? Like there's no humor to it. It's always just some crass. And I say that as the most crass person I know.
He's trying to be a shock jock in the old shock jock style, but he's not clever.
He hasn't got the riz. He hasn't got the riz, bruh.
6'7".
But no. So, I mean, funny story. I was talking to a 22-year-old the other day, and now I was saying Pog when they were doing something. I'm like, oh, Pog, and they're like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? Don't worry about it. And they're like, what's Pog?
Do you know when I was growing up? Do you know what Pog meant when I was growing up?
It was, yeah, I do actually. I do.
The opposite.
Yeah. As soon as this,
when my kids were saying Pog, I'm like, that's not very nice.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, no, I do know that because I'm old enough, right? I'm old enough that I'm getting nostalgia ads, and you'll appreciate this. I got one the other day for chicken chippies. You remember chicken chippies? Chippies. I got that the other day. I'm getting Gobbledock ads. I'm getting Dougie the Pizza Boy ads.
Now, when nostalgia bait, you got to be watching Stranger Things.
That's true. That's true. I got to spend 2 hours and 40 minutes watching Stranger Things.
It's pretty shit, by the way. There's my review.
Look,
I'm watching it, and I'll watch the end.
I didn't hate the fourth one, like whatever that last one was. Yeah, it was pretty.
First one and fourth one were good.
Yeah, the middle ones kind of sucked, and which I was willing to give them the time to find their feet, but now it's just ridiculous. Like they've got to end it now. Like they can't.
Yeah, that was the Lord of the Rings 2 Towers. Season 2 and 3. It's just kind of like getting you to the next.
Yeah.
This one's really lame, and the best acting in the whole thing is Millie Bobby Brown.
But she's always been a good little actor.
No, because she's still acting that she actually finds Mike attractive. And that's because she's acted alongside Henry Cavill, right? So Mike's
that's not difficult. Yeah,
any woman that's been near Henry Cavill, it's ugly.
Fallen pregnant by osmosis.
Yeah, you're you need to lift your game if you're going to follow up Cavill.
I look. It's so funny, and it's so funny how hardcore. Like I was watching a re-review of Freddy versus Jason by the Red Letter Media guys. I'm a big fan of the Red Letter Media guys, unsurprisingly. Someone did call us the Australian Gaming Red Letter Media, and I'll take that any day of the week. And so
we gotta wear they wear like jumpsuits.
No.
Like, overalls and that.
At the video shop. That's
Okay.
yeah. I'll just watch their stuff. If you want to catch up on movies, watch their stuff. But they do.
I know you're a big fan, but yeah.
Yeah, and so they were talking about that and how in Freddy vs. Jason, they filmed it in Canada. So the guy who played Jason was a Canadian. Because if you film in Vancouver, you got to have a certain amount of Canadian actors, right, to take advantage of the tax breaks. If that was nowadays, there would be petitions, there would be fans, you couldn't do it. You couldn't just replace someone in that way. And whether it was good or bad that it happened in the first place, it just shows the changing nature of things. Because Millie Bobby Brown is either loved and defended for no matter what she does, or hated by some weird internet clique of people.
I don't understand that. She's
fine. I don't mind her.
I like her Enola Holmes movies. Yeah. Really good fun.
Yeah,
really good.
I think she's a good little actor. I don't understand what the issue is. The funny part to me, the flip side of that, is everyone loves Zendaya, and I don't get it.
Who's that? Oh, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's girlfriend.
Yeah, I think
that's the best movie she's in. She legitimately acts the best in that movie. Everything else that she's in, I'm just like, wow. I mean, she just had,
she doesn't really. She didn't do much in June either.
And that's what. How bad was she in June? She didn't even try. Yeah. Anyway,
the Sand was better.
Tell what you want about Chalamet, but at least he gave it a crack. You know what I mean?
Like, but his job is to be that charismatic, leader. And he was born to be that character.
Yeah, exactly.
It just suits his look and everything.
No, and then you've got like Javier Bardem and all these great actors around you. So obviously,
he's a retired now.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Guy Pearce, they decided to retire recently. Did you see?
No. Oh, Guy Pearce is sad. Guy Pearce is a great actor.
They released statements supporting a certain
guy. Oh, okay. Understood. Right, now I get the joke. Well done.
Yeah, so he won't be back.
I'll tell you what.
Not that anyone runs anything.
No.
Send me money.
Yeah.
I'll do it for 5.
Look. Guy Pearce has enough of a body of work that you can find stuff. It's like, look, my hardest separation of art and artist, I know this isn't the conversation, is racist ass Mel Gibson. I will watch Mel Gibson movies, and it hurts my soul because I'm not a big fan of his everything else about him.
Yeah, but he's good.
But he's good.
It's like Baldwin.
Tom Cruise as well. Tom Cruise is the king of that. I will watch a Tom Cruise movie. No truck and furries.
It's like Baldwin in Chuck or Firefly, right?
Yeah.
Now, he was playing a gun-toting Ronald Reagan loving maniac, right?
Yeah, so he literally showed up. Yeah,
so he was just on set and they were afraid to send him home, right? But the thing is, they like him and Gibson and that. We benefit. This is the art and artist thing. We benefit from their ability to be maniacs, and convincing maniacs, and we go in our safety of our watching movies. Where it's not threatening to us and we can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now they're like that in real life, but could they deliver that performance if they weren't like that in real life?
I think they could. I think a good actor can get past it, but I think yes, it does inform what we don't do leading men in the same way anymore. We don't do leading actors in the same way anymore. Movies don't work like that. Like they're trying to push Glenn Powell as like the new whatever. Rock tried to push himself as that, but it doesn't work that way anymore. There's no more leading men. No one.
Alan Richardson is a Richardson.
The guy
Richardson. Yeah, the big dude from Richardson. He's a far better Rock than Rock, and so is John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena's a good actor. Have you seen Peacemaker season 2?
No.
Worth every second.
But he commits, and I like
that. Yeah, no. And he'll take the ass whoopings. That's the thing that The Rock wouldn't do. John Cena's happy to get his ass kicked on film, and he does.
Love himself, holy
dude. If you haven't seen Peacemaker, I'm surprised. It is legitimately the best thing DC does.
I was never a superhero. But it's not. I always found it pretty lame.
But it's not a superhero thing. That's
because I kind of turned off. I enjoyed the Marvel stuff leading up to Avengers, and then it felt like
but the event. I liked you got Infinity War and Endgame. I liked Infinity War. I hated Endgame. Endgame was that
the last one.
It was so bad.
They should have just copped the loss, the L, and then just close it.
Agreed.
I hate when series do that. They have to have
the Infinity War was great, and the setup was great, and all that. But then just like that, the scene with all the female superheroes. I'm like, shut up. Like, if I was fighting for the existence of my universe and all the girls got together for a hashtag moment, I would be furious. If all the blokes got together for a hashtag moment, I'd be furious. I'd be like, guys, maybe fight the fucking enemies. Like, I understand that it's a movie and it's trying to be thematic, but I'm like, it was obvious pandering, and I don't know who it's pandering
They
to.
were trying to make the audience cheer.
Yeah, and I'm
And
like,
some audiences
I'm
do
sure Indian cinemas would have loved it, but like, have you seen those clips of them
cheering.
when Captain America catches Thor's hammer? Look up Indian cinema Thor's hammer,
cheer.
and they go nuts. It's like watching the Minecraft movie videos.
That's
right?
kind of lame.
Yeah.
It's like clapping if the plane lands. It's like,
Oh my god! I'm the guy who laughs when you get turbulence and you drop. I love it. To me, that's like a free roller coaster. I'll just be like, well, if I'm going to die, this is how I die. So be it.
Yeah.
But like, when the back, especially when you're
we're
the back
on
of the plane,
express
the back of the
elevator
plane,
to hell.
the back of the
going
plane,
down.
the back of the plane just drops, and it's like that's the turbulence. You hear people like, I'm laughing. I will howl with laughter because it's so funny to me. I'm just
Somebody
like,
wake up, Higgs.
yeah.
All right. Hey, let's do a game thing again.
Yeah. So we were going to bring up something that I mentioned earlier. Microsoft, and we went on to Dan Hauser and his comments on AI.
Yes. Okay. Dan Hauser said, all right, he said, those pushing AI are, quote, not rounded humans. Like he said, it's like when we fed cows with cows, and got mad cow disease. He is 100% spot on, and because one of the things Stephanie Sterling approaches in her video is, where do all these executives in the video game industry that want to go AI and everything, where do they think their ideas are going to come from?
Yeah,
because AI, no matter what the fantasies are, it can't come up with something original.
If AI is eating shit and then it eats the shit of that shit, it's just going to get worse and worse.
Yeah, I love the quote. It's like when we fed cows with cows and we got mad cow disease. Yeah. That's AI. Good on Dan Hauser. That's a great quote.
So there's been interesting things coming out about the reason he departed from Rockstar, and you can tell now that suddenly he's in the press, so his NDA is
Did
expired.
He say union?
No. See, and everyone
him out.
Everyone tried to hang that one on him, and he reckons it was way more of a creative difference. I'm sure the union thing didn't help, but I'm not convinced it was him who had the issue with it. I could be wrong, but like, I don't think Take-Two. I think, is it still Strauss Zelnick?
I don't know. Oh, that name rings a bell.
Yeah. I don't think Take-Two is going to take kindly to a union. But it's funny that because he wanted to do a lot of the smaller games that they used to do. He wanted to do, we have the flagship, the tent pole title, and then we do 2 or 3 smaller games. Yeah. And think of all the love that people have for Bully. I mean, Bully is still probably in the top 10 of my favorite games ever. I fucking love Bully.
Red Dead's still pretty
Red Dead 1, I think, would count. Red Dead 2 is a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And I would count that as the smaller game. Like they did the big one, small one, big one, small one. Like I think that's fine. And that's
table tennis.
Table tennis. I still love table tennis. The Warriors, even if you disagree with how the game is. And then they had their bad era, which was LA Snore. LA Snore sucked.
Yeah, but I would say, yes, I agree. LA Snore was painful, but I give them credit, and they should do it, for trying something different.
Correct.
Because especially from a capable big studio, they could have nailed it, and it probably was only 10% change.
I know enough about Team Bondi to know what happened there, but I can't say it.
Oh, they do Goose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know that.
Exactly.
Is that we're not supposed to know? Because I know different to you.
No. I mean,
like, you didn't tell me.
Word travels in the industry.
Yeah. So I didn't get that off any of your guys.
Yeah. No, you didn't for sure. But
so they sued Goose from Good Game, which made me really, because I think that was prior to me coming on to New Game Plus, and that made me angry because I love Goose.
Yeah. He would. Yeah. I look. He's no
junglist, but pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
I love Jung.
I know you
I don't care what you ever say. Jung, he's eternally will be my favorite. Big hello, Jeremy, if you're out there. He likes my posts sometimes on Facebook, and I get a little buzz.
Did I tell you the funny story of me and Barjo on a stage the other day at a thing, and I actually had someone come up to me in comments like, "What a world!"
Barjo, that's that guy that was on with Hex.
Yeah,
on the show.
I've always liked Steven. He's good value.
He's genuinely funny. I've seen him work doing takes and that.
Yeah.
He's legit.
Yeah,
funny.
And I said that to him when we were bouncing back and forth. It was the other guy I was worried about, like, because he was fresher, and I had to like coach him a bit. And I said to Bart, I said, "You're good." I said, "Yeah, we're just going to cover X, Y, Z," and he just reeled it off straight to me. I'm like, "Beautiful, love working with a professional." Yeah, he just laughed, and he goes, and then someone in the crowd got me aside later and said, "What a world!" Like, the 2 hosts of the TV shows together at last. And I'm like, I never had an issue with them as hosts. I just it was. I mean, we can't go into it. I'll tell you stories off.
Yeah, I'll bet. Or actually, We need a Patreon where we can spill the tea on Patreon.
Yeah, when I'm on my deathbed, I'm just going to release that tell-all book. And
no. If you say that, they'll handsy cron you. You'll go before your deathbed.
Now, I was talking to someone the other day about Hansi Cronje, and I'm like, anyway, because I'm like, oh, is he dead? I'm like, dude, he like that was like the most Sasuke thing ever. Like he had the plane crash. Yeah,
can't write a tell-all book if you're dead. I had one more. Oh, okay. We're near an hour.
We got the good timing. Yeah, it's all right timing.
Yeah. We seem to fill with crap pretty well. Yeah. Okay, Tim Sweeney, who I find him hit and miss.
I find him omega miss.
Sometimes I do swear he's the Trump of the video game industry.
Well, I mean, look, I still find Trump funny occasionally. I wouldn't want him running the biggest country in the free world.
What,
but
Trump? Well, aren't you in like? Oh wait. Anyway, so. Because
I don't find him funny anymore. I think he's properly demented now.
Trump,
but I mean that Republican nominee debate where he was just picking on all the nerds. I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Trump in 2016 when he didn't give a fuck and he wasn't really trying to win.
He didn't want to win. No,
he was just doing it for brand recognition.
But now he's demented. Funny. Yeah, he's a demented old man leaning into.
He's an angry man.
Well, you've got the Stephen Millers of that with the puppet. They're the puppeteers of all this stuff. Like Stephen Miller's the Cheney of the last 10 years.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Stephen Miller in the upcoming season 2 of Fallout.
Yeah.
Running around, is it Radiator Springs?
Yeah.
So anyway, no, he'll be the one in that building where you help out the ghouls and they come back and murder all the humans.
Yeah.
Anyway, where was I?
The underground. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so Tim Sweeney. Okay, so Tim Sweeney. In this case, he's not Trump. He's Saruman, and he's fighting with Gandalf, the one we love. Everyone loves. Everybody loves.
Surely we save that for the Antichrist, Peter Thiel.
Which one?
Peter Thiel knows about the Antichrist because he holds Palantir. Isn't that what Saruman has? Doesn't Palantir allow him to see across the lands?
You know, as a long-time nerd, I find those guys embarrassing.
No, they are. I mean, it is so cringe. It is amazing.
They're not even genuine.
No,
they're appropriating.
They're not real people.
They're appropriating our nerd culture.
Yeah.
And even to a degree, Elon.
Elon to a degree, Elon's the queen of it.
Yeah, I don't hate him like some people do. I think it's good to have electric cars. So that's my point of view.
Yeah, but I mean, how much did he actually contribute to making that happen?
Yeah, but it wouldn't have happened without him.
I think that's an indictment of the universe of the world.
But I'm not going to stand for him, right? Because he's still a billionaire.
Yeah.
And all of them, they're like nerds, but they're like nerds on the periphery. They're not legit.
Get someone to play on your account to build your account up, right?
Yeah. So that was him. That should have been embarrassing enough that he just jumped out of public life.
Yeah.
Honest at that point. But anyway, so where was I? Okay, Tim Sweeney, Saruman, and Gabe Gandalf.
Yes.
I've been arguing because Tim Sweeney wants Steam to drop the made by AI tag in games. He says it makes no sense because AI is used in so many aspects of a game that you shouldn't just tell anybody now because it'll be on all games. Now, he has a bit of a point, but...
No, I disagree.
I think AI can be used effectively in games for NPC conversations, if you record the voices and have it natural as long as they're paid. It can be used for open world sort of stuff to really improve. But if you're using AI as a generative thing for your game, if you're doing AI levels and that, I think the buyers need to know because they need to be able to make that choice.
Informed decisions, yeah. Well, I mean, Tim Sweeney's on the side of less information for the consumer, which is instantly a bad thing for me.
Well, he's on the side of large publishers because you're going to find a divide between the large publishers and the indies. Generally, if you look at what the indies say about AI, they hate it.
Yeah.
Because generally, indie developers just want to make a game everyone plays. And if 100 million people play the game, they're stoked, right?
Yeah.
Their life's complete. And if they make some money, that's even better, right? But your indie developer, and probably a lot of developers are big companies too, but generally indie developer has a different motivation.
Yeah.
Whereas your Ubisoft or EA, they're not writing games for players. They're writing games for the shareholders.
Yeah.
So to them, as much AI as possible. So I think Tim Sweeney has a point that it'll be used everywhere. But I would say that the made with AI has to be for specific AIs, not just AI generally as a catch-all, but that may happen.
I think. I mean, I'm on the indie dev side on this one. I think if you're using AI, you need to declare it. That's the old-fashioned trade unionist in me, but yeah, I'm annoyed enough at how kind of weak sourced the recent announcements from the Australian government about protecting AI sources, because they're so desperate to get that data center money that they're kind of willing to look the other way on stuff. And I'm like, nah, like it's nice to say we're gonna have a council of this and a safeguard of this, but once you let that genie out of the bottle, it ain't going back in. You know what I mean? Like
David Pocock has put forward legislation.
nah, David Pocock can fuck off, and he's one of the very few who probably could to actually beat me in a fight, but he can fuck off.
He put forward legislation to make it so that you own the copyright to your face. And
I think that's a good idea, but yeah. I'm sure that came from little Richie Dennis at the Australia Institute and little Amy, and I hate them both. I hate them more than I fucking hate nearly anyone in politics. I take that back. There's obviously way more worse Nazis, but I just think they're such sneaky little snakes. And Pocock, after his little shenanigans in the Senate the other day, lost a lot of my respect.
I haven't seen that, but anyway,
he's just a teal. He's just a teal, and I hate the teals, and the teals are libs. So yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea anyway. Anyway, so the AI thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, broken clock twice a day, right?
Yeah, the AI thing, I think there's been an interesting little stouch, but what the bit that has been interesting is all the indie devs have really jumped on, and I'd say 99.9% of indie devs have been dead set against AI, which means if you are a gamer and you care,
yeah,
go buy indie games.
Yeah,
put all your money into indie games. Buy Gabe Cube. Buy Gabe another yacht. He deserves it.
Look,
buy indie games.
I've never been a huge Steam advocate, because I remember the early days of Steam when they were a bit more anti-consumer. But I will say they responded correctly to the thing. They aren't beholden to shareholders, which instantly makes them probably better. Nintendo aren't as well. They've got a certain part that's publicly traded, but they're as a general.
Nintendo's like Apple though. They're nowhere near as nice as people think.
No. Very much. I mean, so let's have that conversation for 1 minute before we go.
Okay.
I was driving along the other day in the rain home from a thing I attend. I attended a concert. I was coming home 2 a.m, pissing down rain because it's Melbourne in November, classic. And I'm driving home and I'm like, you know what? I feel like listening to some Offspring. You know what comes on? All I Want. And I'm like, this is not a good song for me to drive around in the rain to, but I'm going to make some crazy money, right? And so, but then I realized that Sega, as a creative outlet, fuck man, Sega took some swings. God, they took some swings that no one else would. And I mean, everyone always says to me, what do you prefer? I'm like, I'm a Sega kid, man. Like, I will always have a soft spot for old school Sega.
Their AM2 days in the arcade,
yeah,
and their Dreamcast days were.
Dude, they were 10 years. You want to talk about 10 years before your time? I mean, the Dreamcast was the most obvious example. And then fucking Peter Moore just comes out and makes the Xbox basically the Dreamcast, because he knew that there was value in it. And then a lot of stuff that Dreamcast was trying to start was perfected by the 360, and then Matrix came along.
Yeah, but there's always been that story, you know.
I know your mate Peter Moore. Like,
what they did to Sega on that one.
Yeah. But no,
and it was an EA person again. Everything I love, EA hates.
Yeah. And well, I mean,
that's even the case now.
Especially Amiga. How much did EA love the Amiga, right? So yeah, exactly. But no, that's what I'm like. I just feel like you said, like you've got to respect them when they have that. Like, you're going back with Rockstar, they try these things that may not work, but at least they're trying something. And I think we're so risk averse now. Everything's got to have a market demographic. Everything's got to blah blah.
Well, yeah.
But Sega would just do shit. Crazy Taxi became a pop culture icon, almost in spite of itself. You know what I mean? Like,
there's Seaman, the game with the microphone.
Yeah.
Their arcade stuff when they were just putting out like Sega Rally. Even now it looks cliche.
Yeah.
But what they were doing, that and Virtual Fighter and the 3D model, virtual racing before that, they were really pushing boundaries.
Yeah. And they would just do those, like, you know, I realize, you know, when
Virtual
you
Cop.
So when you press start on the Crazy Taxi menu, you know, there's that
press start.
You know,
don't
shut up. Shut up. You know that drum beat, you're like doom 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 doom. You know, when you're picking a who you're going to play as and all that kind of stuff. That's from the same album. That's from Ixnay on the Ombre. That's like the song that's 2 or 3 after Thing. And I'm like, holy crap, they basically just bought the album Ixnay on the Ombre.
I got the Dreamcast version with the original licensed songs and the stores. So
I have the version on iPhone. I bought it before they delisted it. And it is the full version, Bad Religion, All I Want, So it's like, it's got all the original songs. And obviously it changes on who you pick. So I hear the other Offspring song more often because I always pick Gus. And so I get the other song. Yeah. And I'm like, and I was playing it the other day, and I'm like, fuck, with the controller, I would just literally play this all day. So I really, like, I don't know. I think there's something to be said for big companies taking a risk, and there's something to be said for big companies.
Well, they don't now.
No.
No, because if you have a look at how even in Nintendo with the DS and then the 3DS, we're taking risks. And
There are so many Galapagos games that you will never see on another
yeah,
platform that were on the 3DS, and I'm like,
and
"Flick,
now
there was some great games."
now we're down to mobile phone with handles,
Yeah,
right? And if you look at how the Xbox and the Gabe Cube and
yeah,
the PlayStation 5 are, yeah, we mentioned earlier in the podcast about the cell processor and the emotion engine.
yeah.
All that stuff's gone. The 3D screen's gone. They tried stuff. Even the peripherals like Rock Band or Guitar Hero,
I
they're
think, like,
gone as well.
from a consumer perspective, standardization is better, but I think from a technical artistry perspective, having those unique bespoke things, there was a certain artistry to it. What Kojima did with the cell processors for Metal Gear Solid 4,
Mm.
artistry, right? Like the fact that he got it to look as good as he did on a platform that wasn't built for it was in like a testament to him. But like I say, at the same time, that increases development costs and increase all those things that shareholders hate, and so therefore standardization is king. So Bobby Kotick got his wish. Bobby Kotick was always the one who wanted to standardize the world, and he got his wish in the end. And it was always going to happen that way because capitalism doesn't necessarily reward innovation.
Yeah, well, he standardized the dungeons at conferences.
On that note, we got 1 minute left till we hit 1 hour and 10 minutes. I think that's a good time to pull it up. Is there anything else you want to mention before we go?
No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised I lived through the entire
You
podcast.
you did, yeah. That's very well done. If you're feeling better tomorrow, we may record a second one just so we've got 2 to put up while I'm away. I will be back on the 28th of December. I'm going to have. It was funny. My mate in South Africa goes, "Oh, you can have a summer Christmas." I'm like, I'm from Australia. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, yeah, it doesn't work on you." And I'm like, "Yeah, all the Europeans would be very impressed." But I'm like,
I do want to go to a snowy Christmas one day where it
"You
just snows
did it
heavily.
in Japan."
No, we missed it by like a week. The
Oh,
snow. Yeah, we were there for
そうでしょう
Christmas and New Year, but
ね。
it didn't snow. It was really annoying. It
そうで
was
しょ
cold. It
う
was
ね。
nice. I love the cold.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a nice cold in
Well,
Japan.
I'm there in Feb going up. I'm going up north if you want to come with for my birthday. So let me know.
Look, my daughter's
She's already she's hassling me. I know. Yeah,
it's the Hello Kitty.
I saw.
The Shinkansen
Yeah,
is
yeah,
shutting down.
yeah.
So and she's desperate to go for a drive on. It's just going to be a Hello Kitty train, but
Yeah, it's
I
get all your photos and stuff.
I
Yeah.
don't know if she's got enough money to do that though. So let's see what
All right,
happens.
all
I
right.
know I don't.
Yeah.
Which probably means she doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I'm there for work, so and then I'm like, well, I'm here already. I might as well stay for a week. You know how it goes. So
Yeah, if you got it anyway, I'll talk.
yeah. Thank you very much for listening as always. Hopefully this won't be our last one for the year. I don't think it will. We'll try and get another one done, even if I have
Game of the year.
even if I have to dial in. We'll at least do game of the year, but I want to do another normal one before we go as well, because this is pre-Game Awards, and then we'll have Summer Games Fest, and then we'll have post-Summer Games Fest. No, we'll have Game Awards. It'll be Game Awards, won't it? Because it's the December one. So we'll have that conversation about that. We can discuss at the very least. So even if I can't be here in person, I'll dial in somewhere. We'll figure out a solution.
Yeah.
And
I nominate Deus Ex again. And,
yeah, I knew that was coming. And what's going to be Helldivers year again? That's fine.
Sonic Forces.
On that note, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, NewGamePlus.tv. We'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you next time.